Hi friends, my name is Nikki and I'm an intuitive, and we call this the Source Clarity Community. Now here's what's pretty cool. We have had a streak going. We're on day 10 of posting a video literally every day. And I have been out of town, literally like busy all day. I didn't have a video prep for today. And I finally get home, right? And it's like, let's see what time it is. Let's check the time real quick, right? Right now it is 8:18. I'm like, you know what? It's still light out. I have time to keep this streak going. So we're here, we're keeping this streak alive. It might end today. I don't know. I'm just going day by day. We're posting a video. We have been posting a video every day for the past 10 days. And so, you know, it's funny. I hit record and I'm like, what is today's topic gonna be on? And the first thing that came through intuitively was self-love and this idea of loving all of who you really are. And I've talked about this subject before, but I could talk about it on and like, I could go on and on and on about this topic. And it's this idea that, you know, so many of us, especially through like social media and things of that nature, we've heard this idea of self-love, but what does it truly mean? And I want to give you one aspect of self-love that I believe is going to change every area of your life. There's so many of us that we love what we already sort of like about ourselves in the world. But there are parts of us that we feel, you know, sad about, that we feel resistant about, that we don't like about ourselves. Self-love, an aspect of self-love is to love those pieces of you as well. It's to love all of you. Like, let's say you're on the spiritual path and you have a down day, right? You're not feeling high vibration. Self-love is to love that piece of you. So, you know, like when I first had a proper spiritual awakening, like for as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with spirituality, like going back to like the 6th grade. But at like 16, I had a proper, what I felt like was this proper spiritual awakening. And about a year later, at about 17, I had this dark night of the soul. And this dark night of the soul, I had sort of long story short, I had begun to attach myself to everything that I had created during that honeymoon phase of my spiritual awakening. And during the spiritual awakening, I had this sort of like activation of this confident side of who I am. And it was so fun and it's so exciting. But there's also this really shy and insecure part of me. Fast forward back to 17, I started to feel shy again. I started to feel insecure. And I was getting mad at myself. I was like, dude, why? You know, you're on this like, you've activated this confident part of you and it's changed your life. And I was getting mad at myself. And I had to go through this dark night of the soul where I was experiencing all these shy, insecure parts of myself. And the more I resisted that, the more my friendships, relationships, and my life began to suffer. This dark night of the soul, it was difficult. Like at 17, I literally went from this abundant social life to this like happy-go-lucky guy to like reclusing. Literally, I couldn't even speak words to people. I'll give you guys a little bit of a story. For those who know me, I sing and I write songs. And at around 16, I auditioned for this show called The X Factor. It's a singing show. It was hosted by Simon Cowell. And they have a bunch of auditions before the first audition that you see on TV. Okay? And, wait, I got this. Yes, okay. So they have a bunch of auditions before the first audition that you see on TV. And so I went through those auditions and I actually like flew through them. And there's like a bunch of them. There's like 3 or 4, 5, I don't know. There's like 5 or 6. And at the end of the day, okay, they put you in like this room and they go, hey, we're going to film this audition. And they told me they're going to send it to Simon Cowell. And if he likes it, you will hear from us in a month. And if you hear from us within this month, you are going to be on the show and we're going to film a segment on you and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I do my thing. And during that month period is when I started going through a dark night of the soul, okay? During that month period, they called. They're like, hey, we want to have you on the show. You're going to work with the producer. We're going to film a segment on your family. I was panicked. I couldn't even communicate with the producers. They had me prepare songs. I couldn't even like pay attention to anything. And it was like frightening. Long story short, I didn't prepare for anything. Like I didn't prepare for they gave me songs that I was supposed to prepare for. And I end up, like, long story short, like getting booed in front of thousands of people. And they asked me to prepare a song and I didn't have one. And I start like mumbling lyrics to like Kelly Clarkson's song I didn't know. And I remember just feeling so crushed in that moment. I feel like all my dreams were crushed. But it wasn't until I learned to love that experience, learned to love them being like, I was like 17 at the time. So I auditioned at like 16 and then I went through this dark night of the soul at 17. And That's right, when I got that call back. And I remember just having to love that. Like, I got, they booted me off the show. They didn't film the segment, and I'm panicked. Like, they did film a segment. Sorry, it's been a long day. Okay, but they filmed the segment, but I was panicked that they were going to showcase it on live TV. By the grace of God, they did not. But I was panicked about it. But anyways, I had to go through this long process of loving to learn those parts of myself. The parts of myself that felt awkward, that felt insecure. And through that, I began to slowly liberate myself from the sadness, from the resistance, from the negativity. And so I'm sharing this with you because I'm sure you've had experiences in your life that are embarrassing, that are overwhelming, that you feel like you've been sad for a little bit too long. Take this as your sign that those pieces of you are lovable. Now I look back at the time of my life and I'm like, gosh, that little Nikki was so lovable. That kid that was just so excited to learn about the non-physical world, spirituality, and things of that nature, and then goes through this dark night of the soul at 17, and now I just love those parts of me. And so I turned this camera on. I didn't know what this topic was going to be about. I didn't know that I was going to share this story. I've shared it before, and maybe I'll get into more detail in another video. We have a little bit more time, but I want you to just take this message, okay? Just do it. Take this message, and I want you to find a piece of you that you've been having a hard time loving. And I want you to see if you can get your brain on board. Why is that piece of you lovable? Why is that piece of you incredible? Like for me, for the 17-year-old kid who's going through a dark night of the soul, still put himself in front of thousands of people, that's incredible. That showcases courage. That showcases someone who's awesome and brilliant, that is willing to put themselves out there. And so I want you to ask yourself this question. Where can you begin to love the pieces of you that you've had a hard time loving? Maybe you put yourself out there and you got rejected in a romantic relationship, or maybe, I don't know what it is, whatever it may be. Maybe your business venture didn't work out. This is your sign to love those experiences and to love you through the process. Maybe you're someone that does feel shy and insecure. I want you to love those pieces of you, okay? But here's what I really want to do. Okay, I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you've watched all the videos in these past 10 days, you're a fucking real one. Like, sure, I almost didn't do it today. I'm like, you know what? We have lighting. Let's keep the streak alive, okay? So if you could do me this huge favor, like the shit out of this video, comment the shit out of this video, and subscribe the shit out of this video. It'd be literally incredible. And I want to say thank you. You guys are sitting here watching this. You could have been anywhere in the world, and you're like, I'm going to watch this stranger from the internet's video, which is epic. So, all right, friends. All right. Stay awesome and authentic. Peace.